Hello, I'm BA Schrock, and welcome to another episode of Unlocking Your Financial Future. Today, I got a special guest with me, Anthony Schrock. Anthony, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, obviously with the last name, we are related. He is my younger brother by about 6 years. And Anthony's the owner and trainer over at PAC Performance Center in Wadsworth. And we're going to spend 2 episodes with him today. First episode, cover a little bit about, we call it kind of health and wealth topics about what you can do to kind of stay in shape and things you should consider for anyone really. And then we'll kind of focus a little bit and gear more questions towards Anthony, towards our marketplace, which is more of the retirees type stuff, but it's going to be relevant to anyone out there. And then the second episode, diving a little bit deeper into his business mind, crack into his head a little bit and see what he thinks about his business, how he operates, and kind of diving a little deeper there. So, Anthony, before I jump into everything, can you tell me a little bit about the business? Give me a brief overview of your business, how long you've been in business, and kind of what you see on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, so PAC was started roughly 2016, January. We're a sport performance center. We focus primarily on our athletes. About 90% of my business is student athletes ages 8 to about 22, 23, and then about 10% is Gen Pop. And Gen Pop's anything outside college. We got my oldest client's roughly 68. My youngest client in our Gen Pop's roughly 24. So Gen Pop covers a lot of things, but I just mainly focus in the sport performance realm, private sector. And everything's scheduled. So it's not like a typical gym where you walk in, everything is scheduled through me. It's group classes, private, and so on.
So it's not like an Anytime Fitness you swipe in and you can just go work out and lift and hurt yourself like that, right?
No. Everything is programmed specifically towards the client and towards their goals and what they want and what they need.
Nice. So what the heck's Gen Pop?
So like general population.
Pop, okay. Yeah. I thought it was like a generation, like
no.
Baby boomers. No. So what is do you have like any accreditations, any like certifications that you carry or that you have right now?
Yeah, so I am a certified strength and conditioning coach.
Okay.
So what that does for me in the industry is if I really wanted to go in towards more of the school sector, I could, because most schools, colleges, universities require your CSCS, your certified strength and conditioning.
Okay.
Certificate to coach those athletes.
Okay. So when it comes to someone's health, in our world, it's the wealth side. Do you believe that someone can have health and wealth? Can you have one without the other? Is it, do you see correlations? I know you don't get into your clients' financials, obviously, but do you see any things that run parallel with people that take good care of themselves physically from a health perspective, and then also maybe carry a good job, or they look the part at least from a financial standpoint?
Yeah, I think when you look at just people in general and those who are wealthy, typically the ones that are living the best quality life are those who are taking care of their fitness, their life, their sleep, their health, their habits. And I think there definitely are those who aren't. So I think more or less, though, if you want to live a good quality and to be successful, and that can be on many different ways, right? Like wealthy, healthy. If you want to do it right, it needs to have both. Yeah,
and you can't just gauge, success by wealth. Obviously, we can't assume that, but accomplishing everything you want, whether you want to be the best, coach out there, the best teacher, whatever your profession might be, having that health component to it probably is very important.
Yeah, I'd agree.
So what do you hear from people or, people out there? Why don't people prioritize their health, or why don't they, seek advice or go to the gym or things like that?
So the biggest thing once you start the workforce that we see is time. Mm-hmm. Everybody blames time, and I think that's primarily just an excuse and a lie. There's plenty of time in the day
I'm guilty of that.
To spend at least 30 minutes, and the easiest thing you can do is just go for a walk and get outside. And if you walk 30 minutes a day, that will change your life completely. That's all you do.
Just 30 minutes a day.
30 minutes. And of course, as you do that, you adapt to it. So you need to start doing a little bit more and spending a little bit more time. But at bare minimum, just go for a 30-minute walk. Get outside and walk.
Gotcha. So, here in our office, we're very big on building a financial plan, whether it be a retirement plan for those that are entering retirement or, just starting out saving, a full-blown financial plan. And then, coming to execute that plan. But the biggest problem I find with meeting prospective clients is, and why they haven't done a plan or address their finances, is they don't know where to start. So kind of two-part question here, Anthony. Do you experience that in your line of work in terms of people don't know where to start? And if so, where is the first spot or the first step? What is the first step that someone can do to start the health plan or working with someone like yourself?
Yeah, so with our general population, the hardest part for them is honestly walking through the door. And once they walk through that door and they're there and they're under our guidance, everything is done and everything's easy from that point. So a lot of times that could be like the biggest obstacle, is kind of convincing yourself to go to the gym or go wherever it is and just get through the doors.
Do they feel like it's a judgment thing? Like, oh man, I know I'm like me. I know I'm out of shape. I'm going to go work out with, people my own age that's going to run laps around me. And, so I'm going to stay clear of that. Or, is that the biggest fear, or just being afraid of what they don't know?
I think more so with me, I think it is more of a judgment thing, because, when they walk in, sometimes I'll have my college kids in and my college groups or my high school athletes, and they see what they're doing and they automatically think, oh, that's what we're going to be doing, and it's not. So they kind of compare themselves to those kids and those athletes, and that's not really fair to themselves. So the hardest part is just kind of getting up, getting through the doors, and then, like I said, once you're there, you're there.
Yeah. How do you, as kind of their coach in this example, inspire them to keep coming back for more? Is it, hey, I see progress, I want to come back? Or is it like you have to work on them motivationally a little bit and tell them, it's all right, keep coming back and coach them up a little bit?
Yeah, as I'm sure it is with you, every client's a little bit different, and they all need their different needs and want their different wants. But our group sessions for our general pop typically help, because you have other clients or other people with you that will hold you accountable.
Yeah.
But then more so the private sector, those guys, I don't see it as much, because obviously the rate for the session will get them through the doors. And if they need to reschedule, they always kind of come in. But if you're going to do it, tag a buddy, get somebody to go with you.
Sure.
Because then you have somebody, like I said, just going to hold you accountable day to day.
Yeah, I know our older brother DJ and I used to go. Gosh, how many years ago has that been now at this point? But I remember we'd go to the 5 a.m. class, so I'd wake up at 4:15, 4:30, text to make sure he was awake, and if he didn't respond, I'd go back to bed for a little bit. But it does help if the other person's coming to hold you accountable. Now with the older generation, like you mentioned, you got someone that's 68 years old that works out in the gym, and I know you got some people in their 50s, I'm sure. And what's the common theme with them that make them, continued clients or, continue to come to you, and, what inspires them to keep working on their health?
So our older clients, typically when they come in and when they come in at that age, they typically want like a more of a private or a real small group. And they're coming in for a specific reason, like their low back hurts or they're noticing difficulty going up and down stairs.
Yeah.
So when we get them in, our primary goal is just to focus on their day-to-day tasks, making those easier and making them feel better. And, maybe 3 weeks from then, they notice going up and down the stairs feels a lot easier. It feels a lot better. They feel a lot more stable. And that just kind of motivates them to continue to do more. Like, for example, my 68-year-old client, he's been with me now for about 3 months. Today, I just had him. Today, he pushed a 200-pound sled for about 200 yards.
Wow.
And he walked up and down the stairs with weights in his hand.
Jeez.
A couple months ago, he couldn't do that.
He couldn't even.
And he feels great.
Wow. That's
There's
awesome.
no pain, and he feels great doing his day-to-day tasks, doing his chores in the barn. So just when you notice those little things outside of the gym that just seem easier, kind of just motivates you to continue it.
So it's not necessarily, you're not measuring, like obviously there's a stigma, I think, in my mind. Okay, I'm going to go to the gym, I want to look a certain way. And that might be an end result, right? You lose some weight, you trim up a little bit, but that's not what you're shooting for. You're shooting for kind of checking certain boxes to improve your day-to-day life and feel a sense of success by accomplishing those things, right?
Right. Just quality of life, quality of movement. Just going about your day, moving better and feeling better.
And so say someone's not really comfortable coming in and saying, okay, I want to take that first step, but I just don't want to do that yet. What could they do at home to prepare themselves for a class? Or you say, okay, I need to, work my way into this. I don't want to go right now, but maybe I can start trying to get back in shape. What's some of the easy things that they can do just at home? I know you mentioned walking 30 minutes a day, but anything else that they could do to try to jumpstart that a little bit?
Yeah, at home. So like you mentioned, just walking, getting outside and doing yard work.
Yeah.
I know it seems like a chore, but getting outside, getting in the sun, getting some fresh air can go a long ways just for your mental health as well. But stairs, if you have stairs at your house, going up and down your stairs. During commercial breaks, if you're sitting and watching TV, do something.
Gotcha.
Get up and move.
Yeah.
Just simple things to get your body moving, get your blood flowing, and you'll feel better.
Yeah.
And once you start feeling better, you typically your brain wants more, right? You get a little bit of a dopamine kick, and it wants more of it.
Gotcha. So what's with the up and down the steps in the home? I mean, I envision our dad sitting there taking naps in between commercials. But is that something that is measurable then to say, okay, I can start out with a couple reps and then or a couple sets of steps and then work my way up, and then I feel like, okay, I'm feeling good enough to enter your world.
Yep. You start going up and down a little bit more. Maybe you skip a step. Maybe you come down the stairs a little bit slower.
Well, and everyone thinks too, you have to be in a gym carrying weights. Why can't you carry a bag of potatoes, right? Or
gallon
laundry,
of milk or something.
Exactly. It could be something as simple. I think COVID taught us that, if anything, when gyms were shut down, and you experienced that. Like, how do you take things around the house and adjust and make still make those healthy lifestyle decisions?
Right.
Anything else you want to add when it comes to, I focus on the older generation of retirement marketplace because that's our main audience. But anything else out there that you want to add to them, give them a quick note before we wrap things up here, and nothing else, just at least let them know how they can reach you and do some research on you and your business.
Yeah. So typically, and like I mentioned, I keep using him as an example. My oldest client, age isn't a limiting factor in movement. And a lot of times people think that it is. They hit a certain age, they can't do certain things. And that's not true, right? If you progress the right way and you do the right things and you go see somebody who knows what they're doing, or even not, or if you just reach out and talk to them and they guide you along the way, it shouldn't be a limiting factor in what you can do.
Gotcha.
You can push 200 pounds. You can jump. You can do a little 6-inch jump. You can do those certain things, because once you stop training them, that's when you really start to lose those functions.
Yeah.
Right. And that's, like I said, that's what we see. The grip strength, for example, as we age, one of the first things that goes is our grip. And I know some of your clients probably experience it, and I know mine do. They'll notice certain things like opening a jar becomes a little bit harder.
Holding a pen,
carrying certain things. And especially if they worked in the corporate world and they're at a desk typing a lot, they may notice that a little bit quicker. When we hit age 30, we tend to lose, they say, if you're not training or if you're not doing much, roughly about 1% of body percent muscle. Yeah.
Per year.
Yeah.
Wow. So I'm 36. I've got 6% off. I got to get back. Wow. That's interesting. But, I appreciate the tidbits there. And can you tell people how to get a hold of you, find you on the website, or what's the best way to contact you if they're interested in services or learning more about you and your business?
Yeah, honestly, easiest way to reach us is through our Facebook. So PAC Performance Center, the page. Just shoot us a message on there. And I can give you my phone number, and we'll get a hold of you and get you in, or just at least guide you through what might work best for you. Yeah,
and I think it's good to at least have a conversation with Anthony. If there's some similarities between the two of us being brothers, it's our approach is very similar in both of our businesses. They're completely different, but there's a lot of similarities in the way that we approach every individual that comes into our office. Anthony does the same thing. We know you put yourself in a vulnerable position asking for help, and it's not a comfortable thing to do. So we don't take that for granted at all. And we want to make sure that we are there to help you in any way, shape, or form. So if you have any questions for us, you can reach out to our office here at 330-473-1060 or our website, www.baschrock-fg.com. Stay tuned for part 2. We'll dive into Anthony a little bit deeper on his business side of things. But Anthony, thanks again for this part. And hopefully some people reach out and start considering their health and get into the gym a little bit.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Glad to help.